Hey everyone. Hi, it's Lisa Clayton of lisaaclayton.com, angel intuitive, and founder and spiritual leader of the Inner Leader Movement. It's my pleasure to be with you today to bring you the Angel Astrology report for our fall equinox. Today, September 22nd, 2020. Lots of great numerology there with the twos, four twos, and so that activates another level of energy for us to work with in this fall equinox. So for those of you who are new to angel astrology, just let me introduce what it is with bringing astrology reports to people to help them activate more of their source self. And I said, first of all, I'm not an astrologer. And they said, yes, you are. And we're going to help you. So we'll guide you into the information that will be most helpful for people to not only get connected more with their heart's intuitive intelligence and their soul's wisdom, but also to help them navigate the energy, to integrate the energy, to bring forth rituals and connection with being a nature spirit, with these cycles of the moon, the season changes, the eclipses, whatever comes up that is significant that our ancients and our indigenous people followed faithfully in their spirit, in their essence of who they were, that they were all, they integrated all aspects of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, and followed nature's ways. So angel astrology helps you come back into the nature spirit, the nature being of who you are as a human being, part of this earth, and connected to the natural cycles of the planets, of the moon, of the sun eclipses, and of the seasons. So it's been so much fun for me because they make it fun. The angels and the guides make it fun. I mean, it's light, it's it's light, yet it's very insightful and it goes deep. So I'm going to share with you the main astrological events that the angels would like you to pay attention to. And then I'm going to go into some themes and suggest a couple of rituals that they have given us to integrate in our inner leader movement in our group mentoring sessions that I'm running with key themes and key topics that the angels are saying this is important to focus on now. We are going through a major breakthrough here on Earth, as you all know, through the pandemic. We've had fires, raging fires here in California. We have political, social, and economic unrest also. So things are pulling apart. And as those things pull apart, there's an opportunity for us to do more pausing in this time to integrate fully what we are really to be connected to. How are we going to sustain ourselves? And that's that new security and that new sustaining ourselves comes from your source self and from divine. And I've been working recently with light frequencies, and it's fascinating what's happening to our physical container as we open up to hold more capacity for light. And this is what's happening on Earth right now. There is so much light coming into the Earth right now from all different dimensions. And so sometimes it feels really good, and other times it feels really uncomfortable. And so one of my mottos, and since really the last 8 to 10 months, has been get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because there is not a comfort zone that we are going to that we are going to be allowed to get comfortable in any longer. We have wasted so much time and energy in our comfort zones. And now we're being awakened into the uncomfortable to create the new. So it's a pretty remarkable time. And I'm really happy to be here with you today to give you fall equinox has always been a special time. It's right before my birth. I'm Libra. I have an intuitive, Indigo's passed out on the floor from her busy day today. I have an intuitive animal spirit who's also a Libra. And this Libra season always comes with the fall equinox. And it's such a great magnetics to tune into because it's about balance. It's about the almost equal light and dark, the light of day and the dark of night that happens today. The equinox actually, when that actually happened, was earlier this morning, Pacific Standard Time, about 6:30. But we're right in that beautiful balancing energy. A couple of things that have occurred astrologically that would be important to take note of is that the Sun and Mercury, so the Sun's in Libra, we just went into Libra, and Mercury's in Libra too, and Mercury's getting ready to station, to go into retrograde, I think the first week in October. Not quite sure, I haven't dug into that astrology report yet when Mercury retrograde's coming up, but the Sun in Libra and Mercury in Libra make this beautiful combination, but then they're in direct opposition to Mars. And Mars is in retrograde. Mars is the warrior, that warrior energy, and it's in retrograde. So it's going to stir up. It's going to make you feel unbalanced, imbalanced, out of balance, especially with emotions. Mars is going to agitate that balance by giving us overheated discussions, agitation. And so we need to focus on the element of water. This came in very strong for this fall equinox. It's interesting because I've been involved with a group called Water Prayers for California for the fires, and this water element is coming in very, very vibrantly for this fall equinox, to stay hydrated, to keep drinking lots of water, to balance the system of these energies coming in that want to agitate, with Mars being in retrograde. So, oh yeah, a couple more astrological facts. I have all these notes all around for you. So another element that you'll want to work with in this fall equinox energy is the element of air. So we just came out of Virgo, which is an earth sign, and it is, focuses on grounding and more practical things. And now we go into Libra, into an air sign, which gives us an ability, and the domain of resiliency and energy associated with air is our mental capacity, and what we are putting into our thoughts, and what we are putting into our clarity streams of consciousness. So that is something, that another element that you will want to pay attention to. On the 24th, so this week, so leading up, so we're coming into this fall equinox energy, and on the 24th, Mercury starts to station, and it will, when it goes retrograde, it will be in retrograde with Mars. Now, this is coming up, but it's important to prepare for, because when Mars and Mercury go into retrograde together, it's a rare combo. So a lot of things are going to get stirred up for you. So this is a great time in the fall equinox to recalibrate and balance. So balance what is not working in your life. This is really interesting, because I was like, oh, well, shouldn't it be what is working in our life to balance? And they're like, well, what do you think is throwing you off balance, Lisa? It's what's not working. So make sure that you are focusing on what's not working so that you can balance and create this equilibrium, this stable state of being when Mars and Mercury go into retrograde. We're going to feel some really shifts on that level. So far, and so those are the main astrological events. There might be a couple more that will pop up because I have notes all over. But one of the, 2020 has been a tough year, and it has revealed a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. And what the angels were saying, it's time to integrate now, since you know what the cycles are going to be now. It's going to keep going. Okay. We're not going back to the way it was. There's going to be other things breaking apart. There's going to be other things happening that we need to prepare for. Now that we know that we're not going back to the way it was, and those that will force going back to the way it was will continue to break apart. It doesn't have foundation with this energy, especially the light frequencies that are coming onto Earth right now. It just isn't going to allow it. So once we recognize that and we start preparing, we're it's such a fascinating time, because what they're saying is, so in this preparation time, we're going to give you signs to take a pause. You are not going to function in go, 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 do, action, action, action. That's masculine energy. The feminine needs the time for pause to receive and to have reception. So a balancing of the masculine and the feminine is going to be very important during this fall equinox. So as we balance that, I can't keep going and doing and doing and doing and be busy, busy, busy. I have to go into still points and get in and focus on my spiritual practices. That's another theme of this the fall equinox, is to focus upon the spiritual practices that you have right now to get you back into the stillness, to get back into the reception of receiving messages and guidance, so that your divine feminine is balancing out with what we have been trained to do in the patriarchy, is produce, produce, work, 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 do, do, do. Those days are over. Hallelujah. Isn't that good news? Because I don't want to go at that same speed that I've been going for the past decades of my life. I am honoring this time when things are breaking apart and pausing and preparing for how I'm going to sustain and manage and navigate through this a remarkable time on Earth. So fun, joy, and laughter, the angels were saying, is try something, integrate, make sure you are integrating those elements, because if we make it too serious, then it doesn't become significant for us. Serious, when we say this is serious, it starts to put in fear and anxiety and worry. But if we say this is a significant time for us here on Earth, and in this significant time, I want to make sure that I balance and have some fun, joy, and laughter, whatever that means in your life. Try something new. So the veil right now, when light and dark come into balance on the fall equinox, the veil becomes very thin. So you have more access to your spirit guides. Use this time to tap in, talk to your ancestors, talk to your loved ones who have passed over. Invite them in with their knowledge and their wisdom and their guidance and their beautiful frequency of light to help you as an earth being, a natural being, nature spirit being, to navigate this time on Earth, to get back into balance. That's what's Mother Gaia's crying out to us to bring her back into balance. And so there's this magic potent energy that you can tap into to call in your beautiful spirit guides. I call mine Team Divine. So there are angels, there are ascended masters, there's my father, really, really strong, a spirit guide of mine, my grandmothers, my grandfathers. Oh my gosh, I have so many Palladians, I talk to them. I talk to whoever is showing up as I say, I am open to receive. What are the messages? What are the guidance for today? It's a lot of fun. And sometimes, and it's getting, the guidance that we're getting from divine right now is getting more and more applicable, meaning that the guidance that we were getting before, it's like, okay, that's interesting. All right, when I get around to it, yeah, when I get ABC done, or what, then I'll do that. That's not an option anymore. Okay, when we are receiving guidance, we are going to be activating upon it right away. Okay, because they're not going to let us, they're going to say, okay, you opened up. We're giving you guidance. Please respect and honor that and take action on it. It's very simple, but it's not something we're accustomed to doing. So, because this air energy is coming through, it's really important to balance on the mental level. This is a little bit different than clarity. This is about balancing the thoughts that are coming through. So, especially thoughts of the past that are old and outdated, and to start bringing in new thoughts of creation and innovation. I always like to say, when the thoughts of the past start ruminating in my mind, I'm a heart math certified trainer and licensed coach, and we have amazing techniques to stop and get into more coherent states of being. And one of them is heart focused breathing. So I just stop, I do some maybe 2 or 3 deep breaths into my heart, and I say, those thoughts no longer have room in this beautiful mind of mine. I release them. I don't want to spend any more energy or time rehashing the past, the could, shoulds, woulds. It's just not an option any longer. So this is a good time to balance the mental thoughts that are coming through. Sometimes I say to my thoughts when they come through and it's negative or it's like judgmental, and it's like, the ego wants that power. The ego wants you to be judgmental and biased and stereotyped and polarized. And I always just say, cancel, clear, delete. I do it on my computer all the time with files and with emails. Look how fast it is to delete an email or a message off your phone. That's how fast we can delete a thought that no longer holds value or worth, or the expanded energy that we have access to now. New thoughts hold that expanded energy. So that those thoughts, when we have this Mars Mercury retrograde, it's really important to go into your intuition. So this is good time to intuit into really because your intuition is going to be heightened. Many times when we think of these retrogrades happening, we've got to go into the shadow side and dig down into what's painful and wounded. This time, it is about heightening the intuition and looking at your goals, your dreams, and intuiting those. And what does that mean? That means that you connect with your heart's intuitive intelligence for the guidance on what to do next, on the discernment. This is the source self. This is what we teach in the inner leader movement, is to get connected back to your source self, this divine sovereignty of who you are, and feel and sense every single sense. There's 7 soul senses and 5 human senses. You've got 12 senses to work with when you are tapped into your source self. And when you are, this intuitive intelligence comes through, this wisdom comes through. So when these planets go into retrograde later, this is a great time to activate those senses into your inner knowing, your inner voice. The angels are saying, please stop dismissing this and listen to it. And if you think it's something that your mind is making up, take that time out and do your heart focused breathing. Get connected to your heart and ask the heart, what is it, dear heart, that I should be guided to do at this time? When you connect with your heart and when you do those simple breathing exercises into the heart, you're sending a beam, your soul's light beams out to divine like a lighthouse beam, calling in the guidance, your higher self's intuitive wisdom. It's fascinating. So source self is what we do with the inner leader movement so that you can get connected, start using your intuition, and and expanding your chakra areas to hold more light. Again, I think it's just a remarkable time to be here on earth, and I'm so happy to be alive and doing my this work that I was designed to do. To be an intuit, to be a channel, to be the bridge between earth and the spiritual realms and the higher dimensional frequency realms. Absolutely loving it. So for the inner leader movement in this equinox time. Oh, forgot. Here's some other notes. Oh, this is really, really super important. So we were just coming out of this earth sign of Virgo, and we were really grounding in and making our task practical. And we had a lot going on as we went into shelter in place for the pandemic, and we got accustomed to what is happening with our world and things breaking apart. So this is an important time during this equinox to ask yourself, what is my plan? And it's not about necessarily creating something new. This was what is important, because so many times we think we have to take a course or get involved in another certification, or, because those all go back to the old way of not good enough, not known enough, not smart enough for people to believe my source self. And that's not true any longer. Okay. That is, when we are connected with our source self, we have all the information we need. We have all the knowledge. We have all the wisdom. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a teacher, a mentor, information in sessions that resonates with your soul to activate the wisdom. But the days of having certifications, degrees, and all of this proving of your worth and your value are over. Your worth and value is your source self. So instead of waiting for more clarity during this equinox about what is my plan moving forward, this is about looking around at what you already have and taking assessment of that and putting that into action. Whoa, that's pretty cool. So it's like I know what my plan is for the inner leader movement. And the more that I just say, I know what my plan is, and I look around me and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this information I have over here to create a module. Oh, look at this, what I have over here. I haven't even tapped in to the 12 universal truths that were downloaded to me in January. I have all this information all around me that I'm going to put forward in the inner leader movement. Take assessment. That's your clarity under this fall equinox. That brings balance into your life. Instead of make new, bring in the balance of what you already have and put that into action. So I love. And then the other aspect that the angels brought forth, I get so excited, I'm not even completing my sentences. Another aspect that the angels bring forth is that you are, see, what did I write down? Oh, in your intentions under this fall equinox, list what you don't want any longer. Okay, a lot of times in our intentions, we list what we want to expand, or what we want, what our visions are, what our dreams are. And they're saying, now is the time to balance what you don't want. What is it that you want to let go of and that no longer serves you? What's throwing you off balance? That's what your intentions under this beautiful, balancing, magnetizing energy of the fall equinox brings forth for you. So take inventory of what has not worked for you and what you are complete with in your life. Done, finished, complete. What is it that you want to cancel, clear, delete? Okay. So, and give it over to, it's interesting because in one of our inner leader group mentorings, we are recalibrating our inner compass and we're calling it the transcendence wheel of life. And it's turning out to be a wheel. But first, what we're doing is we are recalibrating north, south, east, and west within us, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Where there's so many aspects of the inner compass of our for navigating our life. And so it's fascinating because in this compass, they're asking us to get more connected with the elementals and with recalibrating the elementals. So put into your intentions how you want to connect more with the air element, how you want to get grounded in and connect and water, and bring those into balance. Have you worked with elementals like this before? I certainly haven't. I haven't balanced them into, I love the elementals, but I really haven't thought about balancing them internally for myself, appreciating the air that I breathe, the water. So there's an appreciation and gratitude for the elements you have around you. And then there's another aspect of it, of activating more of the spirit of air, spirit of water, spirit of fire, spirit of earth into your inner compass. So in the inner leader messages that were coming through for balancing our inner compass and recalibrating, they were suggesting that you create a ritual, and again, they're saying these rituals will come from your heart. They will come from your intuitive intelligence of how you want to balance these elementals. So, for example, in the inner leader movement, we are taking the rituals that got downloaded to us were how to work with air and fire. So as we are calling in through the air, and then we can use fire to burn away what is no longer working and what we're complete with, and honoring the air and fire working together to do that. If there's just simplistic exercise rituals like that, they don't have to be elaborate, but use the elementals in your rituals. These are really going to balance your internal compass. So let's see, what else do I have written here? Let's see if I have all my notes from the downloads that were given by my guides, Team Divine. Yeah, I think that is about it. Let me just see. That feels like there was something else. Oh, yes. I think I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it because it's highlighted 3 times on this sheet of paper, is to make sure that if you aren't integrating daily, they're saying daily spiritual practices. So it might be something as simple as doing some heart focused breathing and activating appreciation, gratitude. It might be writing gratitude lists. It might be calling in your angels. It might be using divinity tools, oracles. I love the tools that I have in my life that I use every single day. It might be using crystals. I love this wand. Isn't this wand amazing? This is I found this beautiful maker of this wand. It's a Lemurian infused energy wand with the beautiful citrine and the amethyst. These are tools that activate and expand your capacity to hold light. So whatever that is for you, make it a daily practice and have fun with it. I mean, sometimes I just start laughing when the messages come through. When I ask a question and my angel will say, "Really? You didn't get the answer the first time?" And I'll start laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, I did, but really, is that the path I should take for this? Is that the decision I should make? I'm really going to say no?" And they're like, yes, you're going to say no because it no longer serves you. So those are the messages that come in as you use these beautiful tools. So what we do in angel astrology, usually indigo is helping me, but for the fall equinox, let's see which angels come through. I love using Ingrid Hours. She uses these beautiful symbols of light, of energy. And I got introduced to Ingrid last October. And I've been working with her tools and her essences. I don't have any in here right now because I've used them in my meditation area. They're just beautiful tools. And so let's see during this fall equinox what angels will come through to activate to activate more balancing and equilibrium in your life. One of the important points that I forgot, and I know I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but it is critical. And we're going to go through other pause periods, whatever that means, whether it's from the pandemic, whether it means another economic shift, there's going to be these other pause periods for us. And these pause periods are going to be really, really important, not to panic, not to go into fear, but to receive the information to guide you through. So we are getting ready in the seasons now. We're going more into dark in the northern hemisphere. They're going more into light in the southern hemisphere. So as we go into dark more and more with the fall and winter, this is even a more opportune time to pause. And so they're constantly telling me, Lisa, push the pause button, sit down, write, meditate, listen. It's a really fascinating time. Ooh! One angel just flew out, and I love this. This is the angel for grace. Absolutely. So, and look at that beautiful symbol of 4. 22 is the 4 day today on the equinox. And so here we have the angel for grace coming in with an affirmation of, I experience divine grace in my life. Grace is such a powerful elixir to tap into from the angels. So thank you, dear angel, for grace to come in and help us balance, pause, use what we have around us to put into action for our goals, for our intentions. Wow. Okay. Here we go. Oh, couldn't come at a better time, huh? The angel for faith and trust. And again, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at the symbol. This is your directions, north, south, east, and west. There you are. There's your source self in the middle, balancing the beautiful compass points through trust and faith. Oh, I love this angel. I have faith and trust that everything in my life is meaningful and right for me. Everything that's happening to you right now is what is supposed to happen. And it may feel painful and it may feel really, really yucky, especially if you've lost a job and you've lost a loved one. And it's not going to feel joyful during those grieving times. But out of that grief comes a rebirth. In our compass that we're working with, in the inner leader movement, death and rebirth is an important part of our south node of our heart that attaches us to earth as an earth being. And this death and rebirth is going to be constant now. And it's not just going to be, I used to say it always comes in threes, and then there's a period of breathing time, and then another wave will come in. It's going to be constant now. So the angel for faith and trust is saying, the more that you balance faith and trust in your inner compass, the more that you are going to understand that what is happening is in divine timing, is right in alignment with where you should be. So if you've lost that job or you've lost a loved one, there's a rebirth coming. Okay, so this is really important. And this faith and trust. Trust is an energy. Okay, trust is an energy. Faith is an energy. Um, Trust goes way beyond a feeling. Trust is the source self energy of connection to divine. And so this is I love this angel. And look what, and here we go. I love this one. Angel for creative word. Yeah. So this is the words that you speak have energy to them. And so these feelings that you have been told or taught to stuff inside of you and not share because you could hurt someone else's feelings, or it's going to put you in a different light, or people are going to think this about you. That's not available to us anymore. That old paradigm is gone. It's time to express your feelings. It's time to express your passion. It's time to express your anger. What is causing this anger? What is behind the anger? What is behind the rage? What is behind all of this is love. It's love. We're coming back into the light of love and the light beings that we are. It's such an amazing time. So, this angel for creative word is saying, speak your truth. Get creative. Know that nothing can harm you when you are speaking from source. Pretty awesome. So, thank you, dear angels. I'm just tapping into the energy to see if there is one more for us on this beautiful fall equinox today. Let me just hold the card. Yes, 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 yes. There is one more. Wow. I love that. And I get that vibration. It's like a little goosebump or chill that comes through me that says, yep, there is one more. So let's see what comes through. Oh, right there it is. This is where the cards are, and this is what was turned up. Oh my gosh. Isn't this exciting? I love angel astrology because these angels just come right in and say, hello, here we are, angel for spiritual awakening. What spiritual practices are you doing every single day to get connected to your source self? What spiritual practices are you doing to get connected to your higher self, your divine team? What spiritual practices are you doing to get connected to the earth elements, air, water, earth, and fire? What spiritual practices are you invoking in your life to balance the masculine and the feminine? The angel for spiritual awakening has arrived for you folks. Isn't that exciting? So the more open-minded, this mind of ours, this angel saying, yes, the more open-minded you become, the better you understand the secrets, the magic, the messages of the universe. Love, love, love this. Look at this dance from being grounded here on earth and taking all of those different dance steps with joy, with a little bit more joy. Well, no, with a lot of joy, they're saying, Lisa, a lot of joy, some laughter, some fun in connection with divine. Wow. So thank you, Angel of Grace. Love that beautiful symbol. The angel for faith and trust. The angel for creative word. Yay, 33. Look at that number, another angel number. Yay. Oh, and thank you, dear angel, for spiritual awakening. We are awakening. I was just having a tea with a dear friend I haven't seen for many weeks since the pandemic. And we were saying, and I was saying to her, there's not one person, and we were both feeling this, there's not one person on earth right now that isn't feeling this inner compass being rattled and saying, okay, it's time to recalibrate. It's time to get connected to the inner guidance of your source self. There's not one soul on earth that isn't feeling something inside that needs recalibrated, balanced, expanded. Some have been doing this work for a long time, being connected to their source self. I think I've shared with you the story when I started Source Potential back in 1999 to take into corporate America. I was way ahead of my time, let me tell you. And I got told by my huge corporate clients that I had massive contracts with, and they would say, Lisa, we love what you do. That's why we hire you. You have this connective state that you make the learning come alive. I was in charge of all the delivery and training of facilitators throughout these organizations for global training programs. And we love that you started your own company because we can use you exclusively instead of going through a vendor. So, however, we really don't want you talking about that source stuff. Just develop the potential of our employees. Get them connected to the learning material that we are putting out as an organization. Tap into the human talent factor. And I did that. I developed a learning. I developed a learning process, a learning application process, a learning process, and an application process to all the trainings. And it was a source potential model, but I was never allowed to talk about source and what is really within us. And so now I'm doing that. Now I have the freedom and the opportunity to do that since I listened to my guides. And when my last corporate contract ended in 2016, they said, you're done. You'll get back into corporations when they're ready to receive a new way of doing business that is connected to heart, soul, and the highest welfare of their employees. The highest welfare of their employees. Employees are not slaves, and they are not indentured servants to a corporation, and that has to change. So it's pretty exciting that. Let's see where the inner leader movement goes. I think it's probably going to go back into those corporations that are saying, okay, we have a whole new business model now, and how can we best serve our employees? Oh, I love that that's coming through. Okay, I've kind of gone on and on, but this is a full-on report for the fall equinox. I hope that you have taken some key points and that you will spend some time in the next day or so looking at what needs to be balanced in your life, looking at what you have around you to already utilize, to apply to your plans, to apply to your overall vision of how we're going to navigate through the breaking apart. For those of you who are interested, I'm still running a special on readings to connect with your higher self for the entire fall season. There will be a full moon circle coming up on October 1st, so keep checking out the events at lisaaclayton.com. And there'll be registrations open and things that you can sign up for. And then I'm going to have a whole platform of ways that you can join into this beautiful content material of the Inner Leader Movement to help you expand and activate this beautiful source self of you, this divine sovereignty within you. And there's going to be a lot more announcements coming up. But for right now, just breathe. Relax and know that all is well as can be in this time of significant change, and we'll navigate through this together. And I hope that you will join in the Inner Leader Movement on some phase, in some offering, so that you can feel fully illuminated as your beautiful source self. Namaste, so much love. And we will see Indigo, and I will see you on Monday for the Monday mantra. Okay, good night. Happy fall equinox.